Oh, this you crazy mother.
You have to strap this on. Oh, let me put this in. It's all good. I seen that. Here, Tim, let me put the SD filter on there.
Oh, I like the shirt.
Oh, yeah.
It fits.
Yeah, perfect.
Hi,
Yeah, it does.
I'm Abby.
Hello.
It's my cameraman, Tim.
Camera.
Yeah. All right, we're going to clip this on. Clip this on. Yeah, here you go.
Look at us.
Yeah, no.
Scary.
No.
There are no seats in the gazebo like I was imagining.
Oh, yeah?
But now there is a bottle of wine.
It's just standing stuff, right?
And 3 glasses for all 3 of us.
Perfect. Here, Tim. Cool, let's walk.
All right, we're walking.
Yeah, we're moving.
Yay!
Well, let me see if there's a garbage right here.
This is that stabilizer thing I was talking
Yeah,
about.
it's the DJI
That's what I
Osmo
need.
Pocket Can 3. This is literally what you do.
That's what I need.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna get that link from you.
yeah, definitely. Watch out, Tim.
Yeah, don't die. It's not worth it. Ah, all right.
Yeah, so we have Abby
We're
Cifarelli
cruising.
here, aka Som Nights.
Oh, yes, that's me.
Real quick, can you just explain what a sommelier is?
Sommelier, yes.
Sommelier.
Yes, I know. There is like a correct way of saying it. I definitely say it incorrectly, so like I have no right correcting you. So
Yeah.
It's whatever you want it to be. A sommelier is basically like a wine professional.
Okay.
There's different types, I'd say. Like, you could be a sommelier in a restaurant. So, like, if you're in a fancy place and someone comes up to your table and tries to help you pick a bottle of wine based on like what you're ordering.
Yeah.
There's that. And then there's like other types of sommeliers as well. Like me, for instance, I go to people's houses. But essentially, it's just a wine professional, someone that knows pretty much everything from how growers,
Yeah.
make it, and then all of the winemaking techniques that go into like what affects what it's like in the bottle. So like anything from like quality to price, style.
What got you into wine? And
Well,
not like tequilas or vodkas or something, gins. Why wine?
oh yeah. Well, I mean, I'm Italian. So my family just drinks a lot of wine.
This is not on all the way.
Oh my god.
There we go.
Nervous. I'm sweating.
There you go. We'll slow down. We don't have to walk as fast. We're chilling.
It's okay. I'm also a fast walker.
Right.
But yeah, so I'm Italian. My family just drinks a lot of wine. The story goes that I was sitting at a bar, just drinking a glass of wine. Happened to be this one Pinot Noir from California.
Yeah.
And I was just talking to the sommelier who happened to be there. And I was like, oh, like this tastes like cherries. This has like, it feels like, a little bit of wood on here.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, like you have a pretty like solid palate. Like, you should look into going into wine. So then it was like 2018 at the time. I was living at home. I had nothing to do.
Right.
So I just started studying wine, and then I became a sommelier in like a year-ish.
So as a sommelier, what services do you provide?
Yes, so like I said, there's like the type that in a restaurant, but I always had another career. Right. So I work in like fashion merchandising full-time. So I offer in-home services, right?
Right.
So I go to someone's house, I bring wine, I can bring a charcuterie board, I can bring glassware, and then I give them the same experience that you would be getting at, say, a vineyard, or even at like a nice wine dinner in a restaurant, just in the comfort of their own home. Right.
So how would you say your Som Nights is different from experience at a vineyard or a winery or at a bar?
Yeah. Well, for the people that live there, there's no travel. So the people that are coming, there's travel for them. But I think it's just a nice, relaxing environment. I think wine sometimes can have a bad reputation and that like it's a little pretentious.
Okay.
So I just try to make it very light, easygoing. I always drink the most at home.
That's hilarious.
And that's where I'm most comfortable. So I just try to like mirror that when I go to someone else's house.
Is there a lot of competition right now with what you're doing?
No, and it better stay that way.
That's good. That's good to know. Yeah, comfortable. Hold on, Tim, real quick. Let me put my phone
really.
in the bag real quick. Yeah.
I'm so awkward in front of the camera. I just can't even look at you.
Let's go. Hold on. Shoe and tie.
Shoe tie. Look at you. You're all matching.
I'm trying
maroon and
to.
maroon.
I get to bring out the Nikes today. Finally get to wear these.
They look good.
Thanks.
Yeah,
competition.
Competition. I have heard of other people doing it. And there's obviously other sommeliers in the area that like want to do it. But I think what differentiates me from other people is like I started it here in Rye.
Right.
So in my hometown. So I've just always been very comfortable. So while you could hire another sommelier to go into your home, it just might not be the same kind of vibe. I try to be very kind of like, oh, I'm just going to a friend's house, even if it's in another state. I'm like, oh, I know these people, it's fine.
I feel like that's why people book me to do their videos and stuff, because you know, it's like a kind of like a familiar feel. You don't have to be like 100% professional, uptight.
Exactly, and that's why I went to you, and I was like, oh, I need some professional content. I was like, I don't want to have someone I don't know.
I hear that.
So it's kind of just like always giving off the vibe of like, we're friends, and then like, I'll read you, you know? It's like, do you want to know about this oil? Do you want to know about the grapes? Or do you want me to just tell you what I get and then pour you wine? Like, I could do everything, you know? It could be as serious or as unserious as you want it to be.
What determines what kind of wine you bring to your tastings?
Ah, yes. Well, so everything is customizable, right? So someone will book a tasting and I will email them and be like, okay, like, well, what do you want to taste? Like, is there something you're interested in, something you definitely don't want? You know, is there like a country, like all white, all red, mix of everything sort of thing? And then they'll tell me, and then I'll kind of just decide based on like, is it something I like? I don't know, should we keep talking about something? Okay.
I think we're gonna cross and go like in front of the library and go down like the library path. That way.
But yeah, so I basically like wait for people to tell me what they want. And then it's a mix of like, what do I like and I know people will love. So I always try to have like one standout. Then I also try to like, be like, okay, like what do I need to study? Because the wine, it's so much studying all the time. So any tasting is a good opportunity for me to study. And then it's kind of just like based off that. Like if someone's like, I like sweet wines, like I'll give them like a couple of Rieslings. I'll give them some more like out of the box stuff. But
Riesling is a sweet wine.
Yeah, well, it could be. There's like it varies. There's no like, I don't know, like I just try to do it based off what I like, what I know other people like, but then also try to give like a little bit of learning with not like pushing it on them too much.
What's one of like your most memorable moments you've had at hosting an event? Anything that stuck out? Anything that was unique or?
That's a tough one. Memorable moments?
Like anything you see now is like, wow, I've never seen anything like that before. But that's out of this world, or something that like shocked you, or something that was like, whoa.
Well, I think everyone in Rye does such a good job of hosting. So I walk into a house and like the tablescapes are beautiful, and I'm like, oh my god, this is great. I'd say like when at a rosé tasting, for instance, not the one we were at last night, but it's always fun, like when I think I'm tasting a certain type of wine, like often at all my tastings I'm tasting blind. Like I do the research and I figure out, you know, like general notes, but for the most part I'm doing it in real time. So it's always funny when like I think something's gonna happen and then it's totally different, and then it's like I like fluster the group and I'm like, oh no. But there was this one rosé once where, you know, rosé is considered like a lighter wine. But it's a heavier version of it, and it pairs really well with blue cheese, and like everyone hated it.
Oh man.
And I was like, oh my god, like this is the worst day of my life. But then we paired it with the blue cheese, and the wine like completely changed, and then everyone loved it. So I think like that's a fun element of it as well, to be like, okay, food can change the wine.
Yeah. So what is pairing exactly? What does pairing mean? Because I noticed that a lot. Like you got to try this wine with these crackers for a certain taste. So what does that actually mean?
Well, usually like cheese and wine go hand in hand. Obviously, you could do more food pairings than that. But it's just about like, it's sciencey. I would say it's like about acid and sugar, and how that pairs well with like fat. So like the easiest way to think is like you have a super high tannin wine,
Yeah, we're gonna turn down here, Tim.
like a cab.
Yeah.
And that's like that type of red wine that like dries out your palate. So then the obvious pairing there is like a steak, or like a fatty steak, or even like a blue cheese, so you need like oomph to match with
So charcuteries are very important when it comes to like wine tasting to a certain extent. Yeah.
Yes. Well, yeah, if they do so choose. I like a lot of the times, so I used to include cheese, but now you have to get it's an add-on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You should have been today. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta have packages at the wazoo.
So if for instance they don't choose to add charcuterie, I'll give them like a shopping list. And I try to like lead them in the right direction. Be like, okay,
like Oregon Trails, like here, pick your tracking list.
Exactly. Yeah, it's very Oregon Trail. Crackers, meats, cheeses.
How are you? Nice to see you.
But yeah, so I don't know. It kind of varies, and sometimes people will have like a little bit more food there, right? So if they're like, okay, like I'm having a party and I want you there to pair, like this is the food I'm serving, can you match wine back to this? So it's kind of like...
Okay. I seen at one of the events you had pizzas there. What wine goes well with the pizzas?
Ooh, that's a good question. Pretty much any like Italian red. I like to do like dolcetto with pizza, or Barbera. They're like red Italian wines that don't have as much tannin. So that whole thing I was just talking about, how it dries out your mouth, that doesn't exist in those two wines. They're very smooth. So it's easy with pizza.
Dang, all this wine talk is making me thirsty. I wish we had some wine right now.
Jesus, me too.
Dang.
I wonder where.
I know there's Ruby's. I think they have some wine over there, but I don't know.
True.
If only I knew a sommelier.
I think I might have stashed away some wine over here. Yeah, don't tell our cop friends. We're being perfectly legal.
Oh, sorry, I should let you go.
Oh yeah, I have a glass for you.
Oh,
I
nice.
brought my little I brought my plastic glasses to.
Perfect.
Here.
Oh wow, custom.
Yeah, custom. Brought my plastic glasses. Here, hold that. Do you want a little glass? You have your Celsius.
Yeah.
You want a little?
Sure, I'll take one.
All right. So.
Oh shoot! Make sure you get a good angle. Hold on.
Wait, hold on 1
this
second.
off quick.
I'm gonna cool some.
Yeah.
All right. So what I brought for you is.
Go ahead. Talk to the cam. I'm gonna put this away real quick.
Okay. Oh my God, on camera. Okay. So what I brought for Angelo and I for this little Friday afternoon sip is one of my favorite go-to white Italian wines. I have tried to turn all of the women of Rye, and everywhere I go onto this wine. It is Agave d'Agave. So it's an Italian white from Piedmont, made with the Cortese grape. And I like to think of it as like a step up from Pinot Grigio. Like I used to drink Pinot Grigio like by the bottle in college. So this is kind of like my go-to. It's very light, very easy drinking. Well, I rushed out of the house. I didn't bring my
Excuse me, I'm feeling very distinguished right now.
Hey.
Like a distinguished gentleman.
Yeah, I'll get you some. Whoa. It's slippery.
Oh Lord. I've never even seen a wine bottle like that shape before.
Yeah, well, that's also what I say. It's like my easiest go-to when I recommend it to people, because I'm like, it's a fat bottle. You can't miss it. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be good for business. All right. So I can take you through.
Let's do it. The full.
Kind of like how I do it. Here. Usually when I'm at a tasting, we obviously use stemmed glasses. But it's fine too. So what I say is, this is my spiel, and you know it well at this point. So the first step in wine tasting is you tilt your glass at a 45-degree angle, and you look down into it. The mistake that a lot of people make is they look up into it, and like the light changes the wine. So you always want to look down into it, usually on like a white background, right?
Right.
So what we're working with here, so as I said, it's a native grape varietal from Italy, Cortese. Thin-skinned, not a ton of color. So in the wine, and this wine particularly, what you're looking for when you look into it is like, is it thick skin? Is it thin skin? Do you think there was oak on this wine or no? So this wine is all stainless steel. So you're not gonna get any of that like deep color that you get on like a Chardonnay, say.
Okay.
So here it is, it's like pale straw in color.
Oh, so that's what we're looking. So we're not looking at anything.
No,
we're just looking at the color.
It's just a color. It's like it's like kind of like a line. So you go from like pale lemon to like deep.
So we
gold,
look through the glass.
like down into it. So yeah, so it's like, and you can kind of see like on the outer edges here, there's like a tinge of green. It's nothing crazy.
I see. Yeah, definitely see
It's
green.
gold. It's like pale straw.
Yeah. Now I see why you have 6 different wines, so you can see the difference, so you can see different things.
Yeah. Okay, next step is you swirl the wine. So we were doing this yesterday.
Yeah, you already forgot the technique.
Well, it's easier with the stem, but you can do it on here.
Table, right?
You just like, I always say it's like in my elbow and in my shoulder.
Yeah, okay.
But it's easier.
It's a circle, right?
Do a circle, yeah. Don't be afraid.
Got it.
Just go like that.
Shit.
There you go.
I'm traumatized as a child for spilling stuff.
Exactly. So when you do it next time with a glass, it'll be a
like
stem.
This.
It'll be.
Oh, you don't drink wine?
Oh, we're very sophisticated.
Okay.
So this step, basically what you're doing here is you're pushing air into the base of the glass. So it's like a quick decant. So like with wine, a lot of people like decant it. They put it in this big like glass thing and they let
I've seen
air.
that before.
It's like very fancy, but nobody has time for that. So you just spin it, let the air go into it, and then the next step is you smell it. So the aromas are kind of like lifting out because you were just spinning.
Yeah.
So it's like, this smells like summer. And I also use like stupid terms like that in my tasting. I try to just be like, like freshly cut grass is something people talk about for like Sauvignon Blanc. But this is very citrus forward.
Okay.
So think like lemons, limes, maybe like grapefruit, but not grapefruit like juice. Think more of like if you're zesting something.
Okay, yeah, the skin of it.
Yes, exactly. And that's pretty much, like there's some like green stuff on here, but nothing crazy.
Right. Oh, we forgot the most important step.
Most important step and best step is you sip it.
Pinky out.
And in serious wine tastings, you spit the wine out.
Or?
But at my tastings, we do not do that.
Okay, good.
So we just drink. We're here to enjoy the wine as well. So
really?
Palate, what do you feel on your palate?
I feel...
What's your mouth telling you?
Hold on, can I do one more?
Yeah, of course.
So I don't even know if I sipped it right, but...
Like, so you can also like swish it around your mouth like it's mouthwash.
Okay, I'm gonna do that one now.
It's fun.
Woo! I feel the notes, and I don't even know what that means, but no, I feel something on the side.
Okay. Towards the front or towards the back?
Towards the back.
Okay.
Is this supposed to be different for everybody, or is it the same for everybody?
It is slightly different for everyone.
Okay.
Everyone has their own palate, so
I
I can't tell you exactly what you should feel, but it is more prominent in the back of your mouth. Definitely in like kind of like the back of your throat a little bit. And that's the sensation of bitterness.
Yep.
Okay, so this wine is slightly bitter on the end.
Yep.
It has acidity, so that's that mouth-watering sensation.
Wow.
So if we had cheese, we would want like a goat cheese,
okay,
or something super fresh and like a little bit fatty,
okay,
to help with that.
Guys, you better be taking notes, boy. For the next party, you get it right here, only on Polymaf. Let's go.
Exactly. Then you should also like get flavors like what we were smelling, right? So like those like citrus flavors.
And lime.
Yep, lemon, lime, grapefruit. Maybe it kind of like leans a little apricot now. So it's like you can get some additional flavors on the palate that you don't get on the nose. It can change.
I definitely feel it tastes like a hint of grapefruit for sure.
It's a very light, very easy drinking. I like to call this like a porch pounder, a patio pounder, whatever you have, an outdoor, sip. Very easy drinking.
Yeah.
If you were drinking this with like food, like actual dinner, you could do like chicken.
Let me hold the bottle up so these guys, so they don't.
Oh yeah, not sponsored.
Gavi.
Villa Sparina. So yeah, and also it's the alcohol. 12.5 alcohol. Very dry. It's very dry. This is a really great summer wine, I'm telling you. And this bottle is like $13.99. Inflation, so like somewhere I've seen it like $15.99. I would never you could buy this, keep it under 20. I would never buy it for over 20.
And it looks fancy. If you bring this somewhere, it's like, oh, he got money.
Exactly. It's an unforgettable bottle. But all Gavi is really good, I will say. Gavi. But yeah, so you could drink this with like chicken cutlets, lemon chicken, obviously, in like a white wine sauce.
Right.
You know,
on those family style dinners type thing.
Yeah, delicious. But yeah, so that's usually, I mean, you've been to my tasting, so you know, like, that's really, I'll spend like the first wine giving everyone that spiel. Yeah. And then I kind of like read the room and either fall back or lean more in based on
those tastings are so crazy. I always wondered, like, this like the mother, I don't know, like the wife life or something. It's like all the girls get together on a Thursday evening.
I've done book clubs. I've done bachelorette parties. A lot of times, a lot of the husbands are very into it too. Like, I've done red wine. Like, it's a good date night. What else? It's very, I would say, very birthday party heavy. Right. But it's also just like a good, just because everyone loves wine, for the most part. Yeah. And people with COVID, like, kind of got used to doing things at home.
Sorry. Hold
on. So, okay.
I don't know how I brought that back up.
Yeah. But yeah, so they got used to doing things at home, so they just kind of like worked out for the better.
That's awesome.
And now people like it.
Timmy, try some of this, bro.
Yeah, try it.
You're gonna have to give me the rerun, because I want the proper.
Oh yeah. Let them look at the color. 45, no, other way.
Look down into it
like
this.
Way. Yeah.
It's tough because we don't have like a white background, but you can do it up against your shoe.
Here, Tim, I got you.
So give me the rundown here.
Okay, yeah. So it's like you look down into it at a 45-degree angle. So like color-wise, it's pretty like pale. You think like lemon?
Yeah.
Or straw.
Okay.
With that, like on the outer edges here, you see like a little bit of green. You know? It's really slight.
I've never looked this deep.
I know. Or even if you look into it, see like on the outer, like there's like green reflections around us, so it's kind of like a little hard. Yeah, look into it. And then so then you spin it.
Don't be scared.
Don't be afraid. There's like lots of like literally like, you know, stir it up. Okay. There you go. Okay. And then you sniff. So like, what is it? It almost smells a little bit like sea spray now.
You know what's so crazy? Literally like 20 years, no, not 20, that's OD. Like 15 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, I was here drinking.
Oh.
Natty Lights.
I love
on a Friday evening.
It happens. But yeah, so it smells like lemon, lime, a little citrus, a little sea spray, and then you drink it.
We're gonna meet at the gazebo, guys.
Yeah. And all these kids walking around. It's like, don't look at us.
She's a sommelier, guys.
Like
she's licensed.
You know? Not really.
Working on it.
Yeah. Cut it out. But yeah, what other questions do you have?
I got a whole bunch of questions.
This was easier than I thought.
Yeah, I tried to make it. I was trying to promote your business.
Go Garnets.
Yeah.
Oh, someone just texted me on my website. Oh, I was at the wine tasting last night, wanted to get more info.
That's awesome.
Like,
it's working. And I feel like that's dope because for every event you do, you're gonna gain like it's a 12 people or at least like 10 people each time. So it's like you have a chance to make clientele every event.
Yeah, and I do. So most of my tastings are here, like in the tri-state area, like Connecticut, New York, New Jersey. But I do also like have a website in Chicago, Miami.
Wow.
I do a bunch of tastings down in Charleston.
Oh wow.
And then I'm trying to like bounce into like places that I know and like feel comfortable. So like Philly, like Philadelphia area. So I went to college. And then like all around sort of thing. The youths, I feel bad for them.
The youths.
They're looking at us.
Don't be like me.
Don't worry, we're troubled. We're troubled.
I think you guys are pretty good role models, honestly.
Oh, thanks.
Do you have a personal, because you said wines come from all different countries and regions. Do you have a favorite country or region where you like your wine from?
I do love Italian wine. As I said, I'm Italian. I went to Tuscany for my 30th birthday and kind of like fell in love with everything Italian. So in my studies, I spent the last like 3 years only studying Italian wine.
Dope.
So definitely pro Italy. For sure, everything from it. Like, I didn't mean an Italian wine I didn't like.
What's the number 2 then?
I like Australia.
Australia.
Yeah, I can do a pretty good Australian
do
accent.
Say something. Say something.
Okay, wait. What do you want me to say?
Okay. What do you usually do? Do you like explain a wine in an accent?
I've done like a full wine tasting in an Australian accent.
So
So it's like if this wasn't an Australian white wine, I'd be like, I can't believe I'm doing this. Okay, I'd be like, all right, so we're looking down into the wine at a 45-degree angle.
Quite.
And you get like that pale lemon color. And then you swirl the wine, you get citrus. So I just love Australia.
Like I'm down
and it's
under.
like I can do it. And I've been wine tasting in Australia. I've been to Sydney. I went to Hunter Valley, which is like right outside of Sydney. But I mean, I'm not trying cultural appropriation by doing that Australian accent.
Yeah, that's funny.
But I do love a good Australian accent, and the wine is very good. I'd say it's like very similar to, I think the white wine is very similar to like this.
Yeah.
So it's very fresh, easy drinking, and then the red is like a cross between France and the U.S. You get like some of those heavier reds. But you can also find like some lighter stuff too. So I like it. It's a good mix.
Do you feel like wine is the reason why you travel, or would you do all this traveling without being a sommelier?
A lot of my travel has really been influenced by wine as of lately. So, for instance, I go to Italy quite a bit.
That's awesome.
I go back and forth as much as I can.
Yeah.
And it's been great. Like my goal is to try to go to all 20 wine regions in Italy.
That's dope.
I've been to like 6.
Oh wow.
But yeah, and then like, if say like I'm going to Australia, when I planned that trip, that was like pre-COVID, so I don't even think I had just become a sommelier. So I was like, to my sister, I was like, let's go wine tasting. So I always try to make sure if I'm going somewhere new and there's a wine region, to like cross it off the list.
Right, that's dope. That's awesome. Have like a little map.
Yeah, because there's nothing better, I will say, than tasting wine like in its home country, right? So it's like you go to Napa, and usually I don't drink like California wine too much, but I get like caught up when I'm there, and I'm like, oh, the wine's so good. It just is so much better when you're like drinking it like in the place when you can like look at the vines. You kind of get like caught up.
That's
in
awesome.
a way.
What is like the hardest part about running a wine business, like not running a sommelier business?
Like laws.
What are some laws that you?
There's like a lot. Like alcohol is very hard to do, like in like life, right? So it's like I, for one, am not I'm not an importer, and I'm not. I don't have like a license to buy wine. So all of my wine, I'm buying it at retail, and I just like create relationships with stores around here to get like a little bit of a discount.
Yeah.
So like as an individual person, I can't be those things.
Right.
So that's probably the most challenging piece, but it's so small in the grand scheme of things.
Is this something that you could possibly use a team for, or is it something that you mainly should be doing by yourself?
Well, so the eventual goal is to have other sommeliers in those other cities, right? So, and I've talked to some people too, and it's interesting. It's just, so like they would do it for me and create their own like subset brand of Somm Nights. But my hardest thing about it is like, I've been doing all the tastings, and like, I think like part of the good thing about Somm Nights is like, not to be like sound weird, but like, it's me. Like I'm the one that like can kind of like
it's your touch. Yeah, that's why it's the same thing with me.
So it's a little challenging for me to like release Like
yeah,
my
when I need help to do like when they say you need a team to do videos for you, like people are booking my videos because I'm shooting the videos.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not booking me, and I'm sending another videographer.
Exactly. So yeah, so that's kind of the hardest thing. And like the tasting you were at last night, that's the third year I've done that tasting for that same group of women. So like that one is unique because it's like a sign up party. So like, it's the same group plans it, but then like new people can come.
How did that event work last night? So how was that organized? So it was at a country or a golf club.
Yes, it was the first time.
So how does that get booked?
So I guess there was a member there. So like a member, and then they just like
rented out the room.
Booked the room.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
But it was like kind of a rarity that they let me bring wine in from the outside. Usually you'd want to like use the list that they have, but But no, so they were very nice to do that. But yeah, so I don't know. It's kind of. But I've gone to restaurants. I've done like guest sommeliering in a restaurant where I do it off their list and I just kind of like bounce around to like tables.
Right.
But yeah, and I've done some corporate events too, and I've done mostly in home.
Mostly in home.
Yeah.
Or
Sorry, I'm gonna check my phone. I know.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to look. Good questions.
Yeah, when you finish, I want to keep walking a little bit too.
Okay, yeah. Now I finish this. Don't record this.
Sorry, I did it.
Okay, chug it.
Oh, yeah, chug that real quick, bro.
Come on.
He's called out today.
It's what, if you ever come to one of my tastings, you'll see I just bully people. I'm like, drink it already. Let's move it.
Well, you've never seen me drunk.
All right.
Yeah, so hold on, Tim. Get a good side angle. You mentioned like people, you don't really want to have like employees or anything because people book you for your touch. What do you think is like your touch? What makes you different from other sommeliers?
I think I'm just very like fun. I hope. I mean, I try to be as relaxed as I can.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know, like I treat everyone as if they were my friend.
Right.
So yes, I know, you should be professional, which I am, but at the same time, I try to just be like, okay, like, what do you guys want to do? Like, and I just feed off of them. Like, I just got a review from a tasting I did in Charleston the other week, and the review was like, it felt like an old friend in my house. Yeah. So it's like, that's exactly what I want. So I think that's kind of, it allows people to like loosen up a bit, Right. And yeah, maybe someone's drinking a white wine and they're like, oh, it tastes like plum. It's like, no, you probably will never get plum on a white wine.
Oh, wow. So people just be bullshit. No,
so
I have
it's
no idea.
But like, at least it gives people like the flexibility to kind of be like, that's what they think they like smell, you know? So like, that's what happened last night. They were like plum in the rosé. I was like, white plum? So I was like trying to help them, but like just trying to be like, there's no wrong answer. And especially when you're at home, I think people are more relaxed to kind of say that.
Yeah.
It's like if you're at a wine dinner in the city, like even I don't speak up at wine dinners.
Right,
I just shut my mouth. I don't let a single soul know I'm a sommelier. I just sit there and like I try to absorb. But like if I was home and someone was there, I'd be like, oh yeah, I think I got this, I got that. You just like kind of open up a little bit easier.
Right. That's dope.
I think. And also it's like, as people sip a little bit more, get more loose, more relaxed.
Exactly.
Easy.
What advice would you give somebody who wants to become a sommelier? Maybe.
Ooh.
A question, is this like I would say that we're kind of young. Is this like an older lady business, or like is there a lot of people, like what's the age range for sommeliers?
Ooh, that's a good question. I
feel like it's an old lady business, and you run in circles around them.
Old man business. I don't know. I think
it's ever gonna cross and go up and go left.
It's kind of interesting, I will say, because it's like you think that, but when you're in it, like there are so many young somms. But I don't really know. I don't know many younger somms than me. Like Gen Z is like.
They're the drinkers.
They drink different wines, so it's like it's just a different sort of thing.
Signal.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it varies.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a cross. I will say like a lot of my like mentors in it at first were older men, because that's just kind of like.
Oh, so what? It's a man. Oh, that's why you said it's an old man's business. It's really men that are sommeliers.
A lot of men, yeah. I mean, there are a ton of women in wine now, like a lot of women now. So I'm not like discrediting anybody, nor myself. But at least in the situations I was in when I was first starting out, all of the sommeliers I knew were men.
Oh wow.
But I think I would have to really look up the facts. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I know a ton of women in wine now.
Gotcha.
It just varies. I don't know. That's a hard question.
So the original question was, what advice would you give to somebody maybe younger?
Yeah.
But, I mean, maybe anybody just trying to get into the business.
I think I would say to apply yourself fully.
Right.
And study very hard, because I think the thing that is hard for me is this is not my first career. This is my second job. So like I always have to do it like on my own time, where I think like some of the best people I know that are in wine are in it 100%.
Full time.
So I think like don't be scared.
Yeah.
And commit yourself fully. It's easier.
I feel like it's very generic. Is there something?
I know.
That applies to anything.
I don't know.
But I feel like there's many different aspects other than knowing wine. What's like other than knowing what wine is going like you need to be well at public speaking.
Yes, you can't be like afraid.
You have to learn how. Yeah, you got to talk to these people. You got to learn how to. Be a people person. You can't be shy. You got to talk. It's a business.
Yeah, it's obviously very customer facing business, whether it's a restaurant or someone's house.
You cross and go down, Tim.
But
yeah.
Yeah, no, I think like the generic advice is almost the best advice.
Yeah, it's right.
In this situation.
It'll apply to everybody, yeah.
And I think you just have to like have an ever-growing interest, like an interest that doesn't like, oh, I learned everything I need to know about wine, I'm done.
Yeah, the game's always changing, huh?
Exactly. And there's always more to learn.
So did you learn most about the wines on your own, or is there any like training or courses or teachers?
Yes, there is training, there is courses. So this is my journey. So I figured out I wanted to try to do this. So I started taking classes at the Culinary Institute in Battery Park, so downtown New York. Nice. They have like, it's obviously a culinary school, so they have like a wine and beverage department. Yeah. So I did they have 2 levels of like wine essentials courses, did both of those, passed them. Wow. So then I was like, okay, that was kind of like my starter to be like, all right, if I can pass this, then I'll go further. Then there's the Court of Sommeliers. Right. So that's like an American organization. And that is what I have an introductory sommelier certification for. So that's the lowest level. So the Court of Sommeliers is if you're in service. So you need that certification if you want to it's ideal if you want to work in a restaurant, because it's all about proper service, like napkins, opening bottles, like how to pour, like putting napkins over like your forearm, like it's very, very old school. So that's that you can go up to, I believe, there's 4 levels of that. Then what I have level 2 of is WSET. So WSET is a global certification that's based out in London. And it's called the Wine and Spirit Education Trust. Right. So they have classes that are inclusive of just wine, sake, beer, spirits. Wow. So for that, there are 4 levels. But the 4th level is split into like 5 parts. Yeah. So the diploma level. So right now,
you can cut through here, Tim. Yeah.
Oh, I know this is very cool. So I have level 2 of that, and then I'm studying for level 3. Yeah. And then if you go level 4, that's when it splits out into the 5 5 parts.
Gotcha.
And that's like term papers, exams.
Oh, wow.
Like most of the exams like in the beginning are just multiple choice. So it's just self-studying. But as you go higher, then like blind tasting comes into play.
Wow.
Theory, like exam questions.
Wow.
Yeah, and then if you decide to say like specialize in a certain type of wine, there are like, I do like Italian wine scholar. So it's like a whole separate thing, just Italian wine.
Is it like all online stuff?
Yeah, they could be online, they could be in classes.
Yeah.
I do like a mix of both.
Right.
I basically, when I started, it was pre-COVID. So a lot of my early days were in classrooms. And then now, like when COVID hit, I'm just like not a good virtual learner. But like most of it became virtual.
I get that.
And now it's like kind of shifting back to classroom. But it's also hard to like make the time for classroom stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So how long would it take for you to complete all the courses?
Sorry. Just make sure my mom's
Yeah.
okay.
Like this is like years. How long does it take to complete one course? Like the level 2 that you're on or that you completed. How long did that take?
It varies for everyone.
Right.
But like if you take the course like in person, I believe it's 14 weeks, something like that.
14 weeks.
But like say you like
How long is that? 14? 4 weeks in a month? 8?
3 months
3
maybe?
months, yeah.
But some people like if you say like you failed an exam, which I've failed a few, you have like a year to take it again.
Gotcha.
So like sometimes failing is almost better,
Right.
in my eyes.
Get it right, yeah.
Because you get a whole extra year of studying,
Right.
and then like you could pass with a higher mark.
Right.
But yeah.
So you already said that you're trying to get sommeliers in different states and cities, but what is for yourself, what's a goal for the Somm Nights in the future?
Ooh.
Let's say within a year, maybe by 2025 January, where do you see different?
Tough. Yeah, I don't want to give out my secrets
Yeah.
and my plans.
Gotcha. It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah. But I will say, I guess just like having a little bit more of a presence, like up and down the East Coast, and then having it like be big enough where it can be my sole job. So like right now, as I said, it's my second job, but like Somm Nights takes up a lot of my time.
Yeah.
So ideally,
That's a dead end.
Ideally would like to make it bigger so it could be all the time.
And what do you think that's gonna take though? You gotta give one ingredient. Give one ingredient to what's gonna spark that.
Oof, that is such a hard thing
I
to
know an
answer.
answer. I have an answer. It's social media.
I know I suck at social media.
That's the key. Social media.
That's the key. Well, I told you I'm gonna start vlogging.
Yeah.
I think.
See how easy it is? We're vlogging right now, kind of.
I know. It's so hard though, like editing, all that stuff.
I don't even edit this. I just throw the whole thing up on there.
Yeah. Well, I'm just so okay, yeah, because we gotta edit. So
Oh yeah, I mean, I really don't add music or anything.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I just am. You know me. I'm like kind of awkward. I feel like. Like yeah, I can talk to a group of people I don't know,
Yeah.
but like, I feel like I'm awkward. So like, if I had like a camera, I was like, hey guys, like, this is the wine I'm drinking today. Like,
That's how you're supposed to do it. Though. You're doing it. You do
I
look
just
like it.
feel like an imposter in like
See?
influencer land, you know?
That's what I felt too, until I started people reaching out to me and wanting to help me out and telling me to keep going.
Yeah.
I really thought, I really had imposter syndrome when I thought I was like, bro, do I even know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, when I'm talking?
It's hard.
But yeah, it's on you to say, fuck it. Because I got to get this money. Literally, you got to get this money and you got to get over that imposter syndrome and start posting. And once you start posting, but oh shit, shit started to pick up.
Yeah, I know. I really got to get it.
Business.
Yeah, I got that little, yeah. I have like, I will say in the past, once I started expanding to other cities and utilizing Google Ads, my followers have like increased by like at least 1,000.
That's dope.
It kind of like went from like small business to
Right.
like medium-sized business.
And the best thing
I don't know.
about what you do is that you have a niche, and that's the most important thing about growing a social media presence. You just pertain to the wine community.
Yes, I mean the wine influencer community is not so niche as you would think.
I mean,
there are a
ton
ton of wine influencers out there.
Yeah.
But I think like it's hard for me because I want to only do wine. Like I don't know. Like some people will be like, "Oh, this is what I'm wearing today." Like it's just from Abercrombie. It's old, so I'd have to find the link and link it. You know, it's like, but it's like a lot of the other women wine influencers are kind of like everything. They do wine. They do spirits. They do
go left, Tim.
Fashion.
Right.
So it's like all encompassing.
Oh, you must have stepped on a chipmunk, boy.
Oh my God.
Look at you.
The chipmunk.
She was flat out.
Oh,
dude.
Hold on, sorry, I'm bad influence. Cut this out. I just have to text my mom.
Yeah. Nice exercise.
Be back. I just have to get the car back in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna walk back. We're gonna walk back through town.
Oh, perfect.
We parked at CVS?
I actually parked like in front of the Square House.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna walk right down there now, yeah.
Sorry.
It's all good.
Yeah, what else?
How has being in Rye influenced your business?
I mean, Rye is like my biggest market, I think.
Right.
Again, so
Why do you
basically,
think?
Well, I'll tell you. So when I first started, and I launched some nights, very small. But Eric Morquay's mom, Georgetta, wrote an article about me in the Rye Record. About some nights and just kind of like about me. So that helped like with my presence in Rye. It also helped that like Rye High School graduate, like people love that, you know? So I would always go to tasting and be like, go guys, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of my tastings started with people that I knew.
Right.
So then it kind of evolved to word of mouth. Then after the article was written about me in the Rye Record, I started writing articles for the Rye Record.
Oh, shoot.
So I became like...
About your... Oh, yeah, I've been seeing your little, what do they call it? Segment.
Yeah, so I don't do them anymore.
Yeah.
But, you know, Rye Record, call me if you want.
Yeah.
But they used to call it like Voice of the Vine. And I would write one article a month, recommend 2 wines.
Wow.
And then just kind of like, you know, I would drink them, market research, and then I'd write about them.
Wow.
So I think that's kind of what helped in Rye. And then like in the beginning, I'd like donate tastings, but you know, I don't donate as much anymore. But yeah, so it's kind of like, it was helpful. I don't know.
What's the best way to maybe get in contact with like wineries and stuff for
Like if I
like I don't know, how does it work? Like wineries reach out to you, or like, I mean, let's say you want to
like feature their wines or something?
Well, yeah, because you say you get discounts sometimes. Is there a way you work for the? How does it benefit the winery or the vineyard? What's the difference between a winery and a vineyard, by the way?
It's kind of the same.
Okay.
Sometimes like you can have a winery but not like grow grapes.
Got it.
You can just make wine. And usually vineyards.
Well, let me switch sides with you.
Vineyard, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like you have vines.
Yeah.
And you grow grapes and you make wine.
Yeah.
I mean, like the crux of my business is I get a lot of my wine from retail because they can't buy it at wholesale because they don't have that license.
Got it.
But so yeah, I do have close relationships with some vineyards. Most notably, Macari Vineyards from the North Fork.
Nice. Shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to Macari.
That's
Ella,
in where, Virginia?
Gabriella.
You said North Fork?
North Fork, Long Island.
Oh, Long Island.
Yeah.
Cool.
Gabriella Macari is now one of my mentors, if you will. So she's very helpful just in terms of like studying. You know, I'll go to like a lot of events with them, or I'll pour wine for them in the city, try to like sell some of their wines.
Gotcha. I feel like that's kind of what my boy AJ does for the Yonkers Brewery. He tries to get like their Yonkers Brewery brand beer, Yonkers IPA, whatever it's called, and gets it into like bars and.
Oh yeah. So that's another whole aspect. That's another wine job you can have is like you go around and you'd sell certain wines to restaurants.
Okay.
But no, like the wine selling I would do, like I'd go to a liquor store in the city, like on behalf of Macari, and then people would come in, like I'd be like, oh, you want to taste this wine? Like these are the notes you should get. Like this is a great summer wine, and then like people will buy it from the liquor store. Dope. That makes sense.
Oh, it does.
Woo. It's a walk.
Yeah. Try to get like a nice 45-minute in.
Hey.
If you could have wine, a glass of wine, with any celebrity, who would it be? Or if you, so if you could have if you have a glass of wine with any celebrity.
That's a great question. I don't know, I guess if he's really considered a celebrity. I think probably. I don't know. Now I'm torn. Now I'm thinking about it. I'd say one, Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank.
Okay, nice.
Because I'll have a meeting with you eventually, I'm sure.
Nice.
But yeah, no, he has a wine business, and I think he'd like the concept of my business. So I think that'd be a good
it's entrepreneur.
A good business meeting to have a glass of wine. And then just for pleasure, probably like John Bon Jovi. He has a great rosé. And he seems like such a fun guy. So yeah, his rosé, like it's called Hampton Water.
Right.
It's Provence rosé. It's very good.
That's dope.
So yeah, probably some of them. Either of those two.
What is the most unusual wine you've tasted?
Unusual. That's a really hard question.
You never tried anything like that? I was like, whoa, I never even heard of this type of mixture before.
Well, that Canary Island rosé we had last night, I'd never had that before. That was my first.
No one liked that shit either.
Yeah, no one liked it. It's okay. You gotta have one of those in a tasting sometimes.
Does that happen often though? Like people are like, no.
That's why I was like so flustered.
Yeah.
That was the first time that I had ever had anything from Africa.
Right.
But probably like weird wine, like anything like considered orange. Okay. I do not drink orange wine. I do not drink natural wine. So anytime that accidentally crosses my desk and I drink it, I consider it to be unique and different. But I'm very old school when it comes to wine, like very old world, like. And if it's new world, it's very classic.
Okay. So I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna make for dinner tonight, and tell me what wine I should get to pair with it.
Okay.
I'm gonna use a stem. What do you call it? A stemmed glass?
A stemmed glass.
And
yes, so you can work on your swirling.
Swirl, swish, and swap, and sip.
Swirl, sniff, and sip.
Yeah, I like the 3 S's.
Got the 3 S's. Yeah.
So I'm gonna save the main. I'm gonna save the main dish for last, but I'm gonna have.
All right, I'll give you an appetizer or whatever.
This is what I'm having. I'm gonna have a baked potato.
Okay.
With mixed vegetables.
Okay.
And lobster.
Lobster?
Yeah, we got a cross here, yeah.
Okay. Are you a... We're doing it. Don't hit us.
Oh, God.
Don't hit us. Are you a red wine drinker?
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
No, really?
Might be the blood of Jesus.
But you, for real, you don't drink red wine?
I'd rather prefer rosé or white wine.
Interesting.
Oh, thank you, miss.
Okay. All right, so you prefer rosé or white wine?
Thank you.
And you're having lobster?
I mean, okay. There's different types of red wines though, because I don't like a bitter red wine might be too much. I'll drink like a
big one.
A bitter.
Oh, bitter. Okay, so you don't like dry wine. Okay.
Yeah. Because if I'm gonna listen to a professional, okay, I'll do red wine if it's under the
lobster,
suggestion.
I think so baked potato, mixed vegetables, lobster. What kind of sauce is in the lobster? Like what kind of?
It's gonna be butter.
Butter. And is it so poached in butter?
It's gonna be like a butter dipping sauce with garlic and.
Okay, I think because of the baked potatoes and the mixed vegetables, I would lean white.
Okay.
I was gonna say rosé, but I think it depends. But I would go white, something like with nice acid.
My mouth is watering.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I mean, that's a really tough one.
I thought, because I've always thought like
do like a unoaked Chardonnay, maybe.
unoaked Chardonnay.
So like lobster's a little bit heavier.
Okay.
I don't have a ton of experience
Okay.
with lobster, but
Well, then what if I was just
I
gonna
could
cook?
give you this. You can have this.
What if I was gonna just cook a steak though? Like, is there different wines for different steaks?
Yeah. If it's like you're having like a skirt steak that doesn't have as much fat, you could do like a lighter wine.
Gotcha.
Or like a flank steak, you can get away with a lighter red.
Okay.
But if you're doing like something with a ton of fat on the side, you would want like a Cab or Syrah.
So
I always lean Syrah.
Usually red for the steaks.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
For sure.
Now, what's a food that's always gonna be white wine?
There's really, you really can't answer that because you could.
Cool.
Only
No, it's
only
good to
white
know.
wine.
No, yeah, I'm saying if there's not, there isn't.
No, I mean you could. Like, if you do so choose this journey, you could drink white wine with steak if you wanted to.
Yeah.
So it's totally up to you, you know?
Gotcha.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
You could get a Chardonnay with a steak.
I was just trying to maximize my dinner experience.
Yeah, no, you gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I
guess I gotta have a bottle of everything then.
That's a good that's how I live my life.
One red and one white.
That's how I live.
Abby, tell everybody where they could find you. Where website, Instagram, all the good stuff. How they could book you.
Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Somm Nights Instagram. So it's SOMMNIGH.
You got merch.
TS, Somm Nights. So there's sommnights.com is where you can find me for booking.
Yep.
And then Somm Nights Instagram. And then it's all kind of like rolled into those two.
If I want to book you for an hour, how much does that cost?
No, pricing is not by the hour.
Okay.
It's just flat rate. So it's more based in how many wines you want to taste. So
Nice.
if it's, my like standard packages range from 600 to 900. And then if your group size exceeds 12 people, then pricing goes from like 600 flat. Say you were doing my 4 wine tasting, it's $600, but you have a group of 18. It'll be a $65 fee on top of the once you get to 12 people.
Right.
But pretty standard.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, pretty easy.
She's one of the best at what she does. You parked over here, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna get my mic back.
Oh.
I'm good. Abby, thank you so much.
All right. Make sure I sound good.
No, you're good. You're good. Great. I'm gonna cut some dope clips. Yeah, some awesome. You look like a lunatic with a bottle of wine.
No,
but
that's what I usually see me running past like the children.
Later.
Bye.